Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm super excited because I'm setting up my first ever reading journal. Lately I've been getting more into reading, and I really enjoy just finding some time every day to escape into a completely different world. And I thought a reading journal would be a perfect place to keep all of the memories of the adventures together. This video happened very spontaneously, actually. The day that I received the package from Archer & Olive with this notebook, I realized that it was a B6 size notebook when I thought I had ordered a B5 size. So I was very confused when this very tiny journal came, and I was trying to find a way where I could repurpose it, and I saw some reading journals circling around YouTube a few weeks prior, so I was like, let's give it a go. I already have it, I made a mistake, we can make the most out of it. Of course, all notebooks are all created equal, but I just was expecting something completely different, so it was a little bit of a shock when this little tiny B6 size notebook showed up at my door. This notebook has 160 GSM pages, just like all of Archer & Olive's other notebooks. It has 112 pages and completely white paper, which is really nice. I like white as opposed to cream paper. It also has two really cute bookmarks, one with the Archer & Olive emblem on it, and then one just plain. I really liked the gold detailing of the bee on the cover as well. Now that you guys have been formally introduced to my reading journal, let's go ahead and begin. To start off, I had a little booklet of vintage-looking postcards and papers, and I actually found a library card one that I thought was really cool, so I just stamped my name on it and reading journal so I can have my name in my journal in case I ever lose it. For this next page, I decided to paste in some paper to make it look like a little scrapbook, and then I just used my mason jar stamp, and then later I draw in some simple little flowers to give it kind of a little scrapbook feel. I don't know, I just liked the simple little look of some hand-drawn flowers. I wanted to include a date started and a date ended for this journal because I didn't really want to hold myself accountable to finishing a large number of books, especially because I'm more of a beginner when it comes to reading a lot, so I didn't want to impose too much duty on myself in order to read a whole bunch of books in a year. This spread is my books read library, so I just drew some shelves and then drew 92, I think, spots for books, and whenever I finish a book, I will write the title of it in the spine and then color it whatever color it relates to. So green is a physical book, yellow is an ebook, and then the taupe color is an audiobook. I also went in at the end and filled some of the blank space I left for some cute little doodles of things that I usually see on a library shelf. I think it turned out really cute. For this next spread, I wanted to incorporate another pasted in picture, so I pasted in a picture of some books on their sides where you can see the pages, and it's warm toned and browns and very vintage. And then on the right side, I stamped out a beautiful poem by Atticus that says, "Across a room, tangled up in her imagination, they had spent a lifetime together by the time he said hello." I personally have really been enjoying poetry at the moment, and actually Atticus's poetry books are all on my Christmas wish list for this year, so I hope I get some of those so I can really indulge myself in some beautiful poetry in the new year. I just really liked that poem, and I thought it encaptured some of the feelings that I get from reading some of the books that I enjoy, so I thought it was a perfect quote to have at the beginning of my reading journal. This next spread is another way to look back on all the books that I've read throughout the years, but instead of writing the title on the spine of a book like in my other spread, I'm going to print out a picture of the cover so it's more like a visual library where I can see all of the books that I've finished. I also left a few pages after this spread blank so that when I do get to the point where I need another page from my visual library, I can make some more boxes. For this next spread, I wanted to incorporate another quote, but first on the right side, I'm pasting in a full page of craft paper, and then I have a picture of this girl in a wildflower field, and she's wearing a very vintage dress, holding some vintage books, and it just looks like a teenage girl is gonna go sit in a field of flowers and read, and I thought that really encaptured my mood sometimes when I pick up a book, so I thought it was perfect and relatable. On the left side, I stamped out the quote that says, "In an endless garden of flowers, I will always pick you." This next spread is my TBR spread, or to be read spread. I actually didn't like how I started it out, so I ended up ripping out the TBR paper that I had glued in the top left corner of the spread, and then I ended up just pasting in more craft paper to make a header. Then I glued in just some plain white paper to cover up the dots. I used some paper scraps that I had in the bottom right corner to make a little collage to write TBR. And then I went back in with my mason jar stamp and stamped out owned because there are some books on my TBR list that I already own. I decided to leave the rest of this whole entire spread for books that I hear about or are recommended or any of that. For my first reading journal entry, I just posted in a picture of some more vintage books wrapped with twine and an old key, which I thought was a cute little addition to it. And then on the right side, I stamped out a place for the title of the book that I finish and the date finished. The book that I'm currently reading is Lauren Oliver's book called Delirium. It's actually the first book in the trilogy, so I'm super excited about that. But I went ahead and wrote the title because I knew that since I'm currently reading the book, it'll probably be the first book that I finish. So whenever I do finish the book, I will put the date that I finished it, and then I left an area for a journal entry or ratings if I want to do star ratings, and just a place where I can put all of my thoughts about the book. This brings us to the end of my setting up a reading journal video. I hope it inspired you guys to maybe start one of your own if you're an avid reader like I aspire to be. And here's a flip through of how all of my spreads turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like down below. And I'm really curious, so go ahead and comment your favorite book or series. As always, if you have any tips, recommendations, or requests, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will do my best to make some fun videos. Until the next, bye.